is no Rinoa, only ZOOL.
ZOOL, motherfucker, ZOOL!
Welcome to the Searching4RinoaCast, the Searching4Rinoa podcast. How in the hell? Yeah, you remember the 90s platformer ZOOL? I think I got this picture from the, there's a remaster called ZOOL Dimensioned. That'll be part of the, well, before I get to that, let me just very quickly, just real teeny tiny low-hanging fruit, like just a little sippy of the low-hanging fruit. If you're familiar with the critic, feel free to sing along if you know the following words. And nothing of value was lost. Coming soon! Coming soon. Coming soon. Coming soon. Coming soon. Anyway, that ZOOL Dimensioned that is it Dimensioned or Redimensioned? Either way, it's coming out on the 16th, along with two other games. Become as Dog, a Shiba Inu, to be exact, as you lead scores of humans in puzzles in humanity. I like my title better. Just at the end, it's like, wait, Yoko Taro made this game? Oh, fuck, what's gonna happen? You see that name and it's like, oh, it's like a be forewarned at this point. Yeah, not my usual cup of tea, but the trailer was like, alright, this caught my attention. Same kind of game that looks like that. This was a Sony Direct or something like that kind of showcase, revealed the trailer for, Tin Hearts. Leading like little tin soldiers to do whatever. But yeah, 3 games on the 16th. A dungeon crawler where making food both fresh and foul is an asset in Monster Menu, the Scavenger's Cookbook, on the 23rd. Same day, if you like retro first-person shooters, Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun is also on the 23rd. Like, the visuals say it's like brand new, but it's like, it harkens back to the early Wolfenstein Doom games. Just like how the gun like goes down and slowly comes up if you're changing weapons, that sort of thing. Might be fun even if you know nothing about Warhammer 40k. I know I don't. And finally, if you like Tiny Troopers, there's Global Ops on the 31st. Yeah, kind of slim pickings for this month, but hey, a few short days into June, boom, Street Fighter 6. Anyway, let's quickly jump into Threads of Fanfics. This is Halloween by Starza. The East Heaven Kingdom was well known for its reputation when it came to magic artifacts. Many kingdoms respected the king and queen as they upheld their sacred duty, protecting the relic, of course. Their people were knowledgeable about the outside world. Every generation had some talent in magic and was taught with severe discipline. If you didn't do your homework, the least was a lashing. The worst world's too horrible to mention. Which was questionable, but it got the job done, so no one complained. All in all, East Heaven earned its respect and was adored by many. So why on heavens, pun intended, Earth was the place decorated with skeletons and ghouls and pumpkins of every kind? Simple answer, 'twas All Hallows Eve, and the people be damned. Well, technically they are toasting to the underworld to celebrate it. Oh, wow. Turns out East Heaven is actually like Satan worshippers, and Mint could have came out as a tiefling.
ZOOL, motherfucker, ZOOL!
Technically, they were toasting the underworld to celebrate it, but unlike the traditional styles, kids did not go trick-or-treating, but stayed at home and threw parties. The foods would consist of sweets and fruit, but a party could not be complete without a pumpkin pie, with a pumpkin carving at the center of the table. This Hallows Eve, the king and queen were excited. Why is that? Why, it was their firstborn princess's first Halloween ever. And of course the king had something special planned for his newly daughter Mint. In fact, he went to all the trouble of baking his own pumpkin pie and carving the centerpiece by himself, just to make it even more special for his firstborn child. The results? Not as planned. Now, you see, the king was no artist. He was even worse when it came to carving, but yet insisted on making the center pumpkin of the celebration. So what came out was a pumpkin so badly carved you could barely call it a pumpkin. It had 2 antlers, since when did pumpkins have antlers, which happened to be pink. The king wanted to represent the pigtails her new baby girl seemed to favor as a hairstyle. The eyes were crooked and lopsided. The nose, if you could call it that, was a square instead of a typical pumpkin triangle. And the mouth, well, let's just say the mouth came out to have 2 teeth at the top and nothing at the bottom. It's like one of my pumpkins. I go a little all out with it. Antlers sound badass, though, to be honest. The first time Mint's eyes on the centerpiece, when her mother carried her to the dining hall that eve, like typical children, she saw the antlers and, of course, thought they represented her image. And, of course, like any normal child would look at that, she cried and cried so much that the centerpiece had to be removed immediately from the premise. Gramps would have thought that something was wrong with poor Mint if she didn't cry. Didn't say it out loud. At least he's honest. Alright, now comes the pumpkin pie. Now let it be known that the king leaves the cooking to his chefs for a very good reason, and him being the oh-so-loving father wanted Mint to have the first taste of his special pumpkin pie. The results, the poor baby passed out from a tiny bite and had to be taken immediately to the healers for intensive care. When the queen asked what in heavens, again with the puns, name did he put in the pie, he said, of course, pumpkins. When she asked if he took out the seeds in outer laying, the king looked sheepishly at his wife and said, "Are you supposed to do that?" Sadly, to this day, Princess Mint was always absent when All Hallows Eve came about from that day after. 'Twas, after all, better be safe than sorry. Mint was not taking any more chances, especially when her father wanted to make up for it. Damn. At that time I made fun of you about the pumpkins, and just, wow. Sorry that kind of happened to you.
And don't even get me started on pumpkin spice, you monsters!
Alright. I got winded reading the second one just in my own way, and then I gotta do voices on top of it. I'm like, not gonna be able to say nothing else. Yeah, I was, doing spring cleaning a couple days ago, so my schedule's a little, worked my ass off, too. So my sleep schedule's now back to being a little lopsided. It's been worse, but anyway, let's jump off that real quick and head to The Adventures of Platinum Hunting. Pale Shadows. Space Defend. Buck 50 easy asteroids clone. Just all you gotta do is play until your asteroid kill count reaches 190. 3 minutes for me, and that's just standing there in the middle, just shooting away for a good chunk of it till I started chasing them down. Just be like, So, might take some of you even faster than 3 minutes. Boot Cannon for 99 cents. Also kind of like asteroids, but you only have to worry about one button. Your character runs around a large box, having to avoid yellow rings from smashing into him. You hit a button, you can turn your character to run the other way. Hold the button, and you'll fire a laser beam to break them up. The rings that are trying to kill you. Couple things. Survive for 2 minutes, have 15 ring pieces at a time, destroy 200 of them cumulatively, and score 500 points in a run. Took me a couple of tries, but I got a good run that let me unlock all of the trophies and the subsequent platinum in 9 minutes. On and off playing this one took me about 2 months to complete, but I finally have the platinum for Kawaii Slime Arena, a 15-stage first-person shooter. Most of these trophies you'll unlock along the way, completing all 15 zones. You may need luck to have the 3 different ghosts at the same time, which circle around your character, and 3 different bats, which is easier to get with the recommended army weapon. Its upgrade tree gives you a free bat of each of the 3 elements of the game. Those 3 elements are as follows: Electric, which zaps the slimes; Freeze, which can freeze a few into place for a while; and Poison, which is damage over time. Took me a lot of fails to finally get through Zone 14, and then once or twice on 15. Yeah, I just got lucky because every 4 of the 20 waves each zone has, you'll get like a one of 3 random perks or upgrades. I just kept getting ghosts to circle around me while the bats did most of the other hitting. Eventually the helpers do more hits and damage than you. But a big time shout out to the YouTube channel Mr. Pilgrim with 2 X's in beginning and end of that. He's the one who had the idea to stick with the army gun. It is currently on sale right now on PSN for $2.99. A tiny bit less for Plus members, which I know is a lot of you. Current level, 755. Platinum trophies, 495. Bulk of this heading now to Searching4RinoaCast. I did not know handicaps had beer-battered onion rings. They are now my second favorite onion ring. They're like a less powerful Funyun. I still think the cheddar fries are the tops, but I'll get these again. But if I had my choice over them or cheddar fries, cheddar's going to win every single time. I think I've said how good the Dr. Pepper cream soda is. That's a really good mix. Flying a little closer to the sun is the new strawberry cream Dr. Pepper. I get a strong hit right away of the strawberry and then the Dr. Pepper. I'm like, I look at the bottle again and go, oh, strawberry cream. Yeah, it's like you gave me strawberry milkshake first and the Dr. Pepper second. This took getting used to. This an initial like, oh, wow, no. And then like, all right. I don't see you sticking around. I do have hopes for the Dr. Pepper cream soda. How hard is it to put that in? Like, as hard as Coke is to mix with things, Dr. Pepper is like an even more acquired taste to like get a good mix in. But the cream soda, it just works. Now there's a bunch of these eats at the 7-Eleven, as was the partnered with Jack's Link's bacon strip jerky. If you like crispy, warm, or hot bacon rather than chewy. I say chewy because it's jerky, but yeah, this is might not be for everybody. Like, this just made me want the real thing. Still, it's Jack's Link's, which is great jerky, so I was like, all right, I can munch on this. But it is a 7-Eleven exclusive, so you're going to have to come on down if you want it. Also an exclusive, because I guess they make the flavor, brisk blueberry pomegranate quote-unquote iced tea. I'm like, is it even iced tea at this point? I know, they all say that, all the brisks. It's like, the most blue drink of blue drinks you could possibly have. Like, think about all the blue raspberry candies and sodas that you may have had. I thought that's what I did. Thought about all the stuff I've had. You know, aptly named brisk as always. It'll hit harder than anything. I may have gotten blueberry out of it, but no pomegranate. If you confuse this for like blue raspberry, I don't blame you, because that's what this was closer to, my taste buds opinion. Still a brisk, so it's still mighty powerful. Melon strawberry is a thing, but iced tea, they all say that when it's clearly not. I liked it, but I'm just like, where's the pomegranate? But yeah, if you're getting a brisk, be forewarned, it's gonna hit. Old El Paso Fiesta twists. I've only had the queso so far. It gets heat near the end, but nothing too serious. Gotta find the ranch and the cinnamon churro, which is what the consistency is for this one eat-wise. It's like a thin, crispy, very airy, flaky like a churro. Ended up eating half the bag now and the rest later on, so I hope these catch on and we get bigger bags for these, like Doritos big, because these are... And I've only had the one so far. I need to find the ranch and the cinnamon. Fisher's Popcorn with the Maryland Special Old Bay on their caramel popcorn. Once again, a weird mix. You get the Old Bay and then the caramel, and then you get the you bite, it bites back kind of thing until you get used to it. Better combination than even I could have given it credit for, to be honest with you. But yeah, just one of those things where you like stick to and go all in. It's like, all right. Didn't like it first, but I warmed to it more than the strawberry cream Dr. Pepper. I was like, yeah, I don't see you sticking around. This stuff, I'm like, okay, I get it.
Oh, no!
The big loser of the month goes to Marie Callender's Meatloaf and Country Fried Chicken duos. Who the fuck tasted this meatloaf? Like, taste tested this and went, yeah, this is edible. The chicken itself is this super peppery kind of mess due to the country gravy, and you lose like the breading a little bit because it's like caked on so hard. Ooh. I am happy to report the duos of the chicken parmesan and chicken alfredo with noodles is at least worth a try. I haven't gotten to There's another one that's chicken pesto at 4 cheese ravioli yet. That sounds good. That meatloaf combination, stay the hell away from that. What are your calendars? Come on. You make like the spaghetti with like the Texas garlic toast that I like so much.
Oh, yes!
Winner goes to the caramel cold brew M&Ms. I've never had the regular caramel. I tend to... I don't know. I sleep on candy type set most times, you know. The drinks I get that are sweet enough as is. I don't know if the caramel ones are just this smaller caramel kind of chewiness inside, but already that's good. And then the cold brew coffee flavor just brings it all home. Huge fan of flavored coffees myself, so yeah, check this one out for sure. With all that said, let me close this episode out with an update on the channel. As you may or may not know, my current Let's Play, Trials of Mana, is going to wrap up in the month of Mana. And I didn't have enough days left over before I wanted to... it's like, if I put another Mana game in here, I'm not going to have a clear June, July for my next series of games. So, when Trials wraps up, smack dab in the middle of May, on the 16th, I begin Junio-kun and Julio-kun. Anything River City related I could get my hands on and play, and even with the, what ended up being one-shots of sports titles, because that's my weakest, my upload schedule, hopefully in August, will be just free to do Seg August 2, like I mentioned, get all that done. More than enough games for that to just be like, okay, they'll be interesting enough, or just lulls you to be like, mostly like, haha, one-shot, to fit it in, before I get all RPG-ness and Neptember. 2 of the games I've already played through. It's not even like... well, it is RPG mechanics, but it's like more action-y RPG. More my alley anyway. And the Sisters, which I gotta grab, that's on sale right now. The Sisters vs. Sisters, I have yet to... that's the only one I haven't played yet. That's what I'll end that on, unless there's any other Neptune games that come out in the meantime. I don't have a PS5 to play the remake for the first one, but maybe they'll scroll that back down and, you know, they'll throw us a bone. Who knows? That seemed the way with there was a game I think that was like Steam only that recently came out in the PS4, PS5. The Final Fantasy Pixel Remasters, 6 games of that. I'm like, okay. But that's the podcast. I wonder who gets next to be a remastered platformer mascot. My heart says Plock, but I personally think it's going to go to Rocky Rodent, just because. Like ZOOL, I barely remember ZOOL, God. I think there was like a music level, I think, or something like that. I think as far as I ever gotten that game for the Super Nintendo. I don't know. I feel like Arrow the Acrobat's going to get shafted again. What's he on? Sunsoft? Yeah, no. Poor guy. Anyway, that's the podcast. Play me out!
God damn it, baby, no, I ain't lying to you. I'm only gonna tell you one time.